It is August 24th, 2017. This is the Watchman News, and I'm Mike Callahan. So last night, we covered a video that X22 Report had put out about the United Nations. Dabu had put out a report today about the same issue. And I will actually link everything. I'll link Dabu's video, and then I'll also link the source of this information, because we're kind of big about sources. So as we know, there have been some crazy events happening in the United States, namely Charlottesville. And there has been an humongous tension that is being built in this country. And most of it is at the hands of the media. Okay? Because, you know, it's obvious to me that the large majority of us aren't racist, and we don't support racism, right? So they're taking a small group of people, and they're exaggerating it, they're embellishing it, they're making it seem like it's just a crazy mass amount of people that have these thoughts. And I don't believe that to be true. But what I do believe to be true is the Hegelian dialect, problem, reaction, solution. And I think that's what they're doing here. Now, I also had put together another little piece of the puzzle here, which I find to be kind of interesting. And if I don't forget, after I go over the article, I'll throw that in here. So the article is right from a United Nations website, the UN.org site, and this is it. And it's titled, UN Rights Experts Criticize U.S. Failure to Unequivocally Reject Racist Violent Events. And it reads as this. The United Nations body monitoring implementation of the Global Convention on Prohibiting Racial Discrimination has called on high-level politicians and public officials of the United States to unequivocally and unconditionally reject and condemn racist hate speech and crimes in Charlottesville and throughout the country. Really? Let's see. What high-level politicians could they possibly be talking about? Nah, we'll get to that after the article. We are alarmed by the racist demonstrations with overtly racist slogans, chants, and salutes by white nationals, neo-Nazis, and the Ku Klux Klan, promoting white supremacy and inciting racial discrimination and hatred, said Anastasia Crickley, chairperson of the UN Committee on Elimination of Racial Discrimination, in a news release. Now here's the interesting thing that I find, and sorry, I just can't wait to interject stuff here. But, okay, so they're citing this incredibly massive problem here in the United States, right? And there are so many other countries out there, they're just openly committing genocide, and they don't say a peep about those countries. Interesting, huh? Maybe it's that we don't actually know their true agenda. I think that's probably mostly it. In a decision issued under its early warning and urgent action procedure in committee, which monitors implementation of the International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, stated there should be no place in the world for racist white supremacist ideas or any similar ideologies that reject the core human rights principles of human dignity and equality. Well, I can agree with that, but it has to cover all of them, not just white folks. It has to cover all of them. And it has to include Christianity. It has to include white folks. Because, newsflash, we're not the only ones that are racist. And until we accept that and understand that and deal with it, guess what? We won't be able to get anywhere. And you can't rely on the media or the government, or any type of governing body for that matter, to do the right thing. They're just not going to do it. The right thing is not on the agenda, folks. It's not. The United States ratified the convention in 1994. In addition to the criminal investigation of the individual who plowed his car into a crowd of peaceful protesters killing a woman, the UN experts asked the U.S. authorities to undertake concrete measures to address the root causes of the proliferation of such racist manifestations. We call on the U.S. government to investigate thoroughly the phenomenon of racial discrimination targeting, in particular, people of African descent, ethnic or ethno-religious minorities, and migrants, added Ms. Crickley. CERD also called on the government to ensure that the rights of freedom of expression, association, and peaceful assembly are not exercised with the aim of destroying or denying the rights and freedoms of others, and also asked it to provide the necessary guarantees so that such rights are not misused to promote racist hate speech and racist crimes. Now, see, here's the problem, folks. It's a slippery slope. And any time we give them an inch on any of this, they don't just take a mile. They take a country, literally. Okay? So I'm not in support of hate speech. See, I differentiate, okay? If you're speaking about discrimination on any sort, that's hate speech, not free speech. Two totally different things, but they're allowing them to be grouped together, okay? What they want is your free speech, okay? They really care less about the hate speech. They want your free speech. That's what they want. Members of CERD are independent human rights experts drawn from around the world who serve in their personal capacity and not as representatives of states' parties. So, you know, again, they're taking a small group of people, and I'm talking about the KKK and the white supremacist groups, because believe me, it's a very, very small amount of people that are involved in these things. I bet there isn't 10,000 people in this entire country that involve themselves or even align themselves with this ignorance. Because that's what it is. It's ignorance. If you think that, you know, a skin color, a pigment of a skin, or a, you know, where a person was born or anything like that, if you think that has anything to do with who they are as an individual, I'll pray for you. I will. Because you're probably missing out on some incredible human beings. I'd say I'm certain of that. So, they're after our freedoms. The interesting thing here is they spoke about high-level politicians, how they're not doing anything, right? Well, I've seen it in the media here about how Trump wasn't doing anything, and you folks should know I am not a Trump fan. I'm not, you know. But I'll tell you what, the last speech on the subject that I seen him do, I even still have the link up here, was absolutely incredible, without a doubt. And he called him out. Yet, you know, he made sure that he called out everybody that was involved in the racial hatred, okay? Not just the white supremacists. He also called out the others there that were primarily there to cause a disruption. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. And he has been chastised for being honest with the American people. Now, apparently, he's being chastised by the United Nations, which is really intriguing to me. It is really intriguing. It definitely gets me to ask some questions, and I'll be doing plenty of looking into it. But, you know, apparently, He's not, Trump meaning Trump, isn't real liked by the United Nations, I would say. So it's something, again, to pay close attention to. I will link this article. I will also link Dabu's video. I appreciate all the work Dabu does. Watch Dabu's video. He covers more of it than, or different stuff than what I have. And it would probably be important to watch his. So I'll link it down in the description. And he's right. He is absolutely right. This is a world stage. I'm trying to figure out if Trump's a part of that world stage or if he's actually against that world stage. I'm still on the fence about that. I really am still on the fence about that. Don't make anything appear any way they want to, because that's how they achieve so much ground in so little time. And Dabu's right about another thing. This is a Maserati. Just kidding. I couldn't resist that. Love you, Dabu. We'll talk to y'all later.